Have you ever scrolled through Instagram, stopped for a second, and thought, wait, who is this? Today's video is not just about a model. It's about a name that keeps popping up, a face you don't forget easily, and a presence that knows exactly how to steal attention without saying a word. Her name is Milani. Some people call her the Italian Barbie. Others see her as a symbol of confidence, curves, and modern beauty. And many are still trying to figure out how she went from just another Instagram page to a personality everyone is suddenly talking about. But here's the real question. Is Milani just another social media model? Or is there a deeper story behind the photos, the style, and the hype? In this video, we're diving into who she really is, where she came from, and why her name is becoming impossible to ignore. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might see Milani in a completely different way. Why do thousands of people call her the Italian Barbie? And how did a girl who started with nothing but social media manage to turn a few photos into global attention? In a world where millions are trying to be seen, Milani didn't chase the spotlight. The spotlight found her. With one scroll, one look, and one unmistakable presence, she became impossible to ignore. But this isn't just about beauty. It's about timing, confidence, and knowing exactly who you are in a digital world that never stops watching. Milani is not famous by accident. And she's not viral by luck. Her rise is a mix of strategy, personality, and a bold refusal to fit into anyone else's definition of beauty. And that's exactly why people can't stop talking about her. Milani's identity is not something she tries to explain. You can see it instantly. Her Italian roots show in everything. In her facial features, in her expressions, and in the way she carries herself with natural confidence. There's a classic Mediterranean elegance in her look, mixed with a modern, bold energy that feels unapologetically current. That's exactly where the name Italian Barbie comes from. Not because she looks perfect, but because she combines softness and strength, femininity and presence, beauty and control. Her style is carefully balanced. Glamorous, but never forced. Playful, yet intentional. Milani doesn't just wear fashion. She turns her background, her curves, and her attitude into a signature people instantly recognize. And that signature is what makes her stand out in a world full of copies. Milani's journey didn't start on a runway. It started on Instagram. No big agency. No massive production. Just a clear vision and a strong understanding of visual power. From the very beginning, she focused on one thing: impact. Every photo was intentional. Every pose had a purpose. Lighting, angles, styling, nothing was random. While others were posting for attention, Milani was building an image. Slowly, people started to stop scrolling. Then they started following. And soon, they started waiting for her next post. Her page didn't grow because of trends. It grew because of consistency, confidence, and a visual identity that felt different. That's how she turned Instagram from just a social app into the foundation of a growing global audience. Milani didn't rise by fitting in. She rose by standing out. In an industry obsessed with one body type, one size, and one definition of beauty, she chose a different path. As a plus-size model, Milani challenged the idea that beauty needs permission. She didn't hide her curves. She highlighted them. She didn't apologize for her body. She owned it. That's why companies chose her as a face, not just a feature. She became proof that influence isn't about numbers alone, it's about impact. And Milani had plenty of it. What truly sets Milani apart is not just how she looks, but how she connects. She doesn't talk at her audience, she talks with them. Her interaction feels natural, unforced, and real, which is rare in a world full of filters and performances. She shares moments, not just images, and that honesty is what people respond to. Milani understands something important about influence: people don't follow perfection, they follow authenticity. By being herself, she gives her audience permission to do the same. Her confidence isn't loud, and it isn't fake, it's consistent, and that consistency builds trust. For many followers, she's not just a model on a screen, she's a reminder that self-expression doesn't need approval. There's a lesson in the way she moves online. Real impact comes from connection, not comparison. And that's why her influence feels personal, meaningful, and long-lasting. Beyond Instagram, Milani made a deliberate move toward exclusivity. She understood that not all content is meant for everyone, and that's where personal branding becomes strategic. By offering exclusive content outside traditional platforms, she created a space built on choice, control, and intention. This wasn't about being provocative for attention, it was about owning her image and deciding how it's presented. Milani turned exclusivity into value, and value into loyalty. She showed that a strong personal brand doesn't rely on algorithms alone, but on offering something meaningful to a specific audience. The boldness wasn't in the content itself, but in the decision to take ownership of her narrative. And that's an important lesson in the digital age. When you control your platform, you control your identity. Milani's approach proves that confidence and strategy can exist in the same space. And when they do, the brand becomes stronger, not louder. In a digital world that moves fast, rewards noise, and often confuses attention with value, Milani represents a different approach to success. Her journey is not loud, chaotic, or rushed. Instead, it is intentional, patient, and rooted in self-awareness. She didn't wake up famous, and she didn't rely on shortcuts. What she built took time, clarity, and an understanding of who she is and what she stands for. What makes Milani's story powerful is that it reflects a reality many people face today. Social media promises visibility, but it rarely explains sustainability. Anyone can go viral once, but very few know how to turn visibility into longevity. Milani understood early on that attention alone is not a foundation. Identity is. And when identity is clear, every decision becomes easier, from content creation to brand partnerships, to how much of yourself you choose to share with the world. One of the most important lessons in her journey is the value of self-definition. Milani never waited for the internet to label her. She defined herself first. Her confidence didn't come from numbers, comments, or validation. It came from alignment. She knew what felt authentic to her, and she stayed consistent with that version, even as her audience grew. That consistency is what made people trust her, and trust is the most valuable currency in the digital age. Another key aspect of her influence is intention. Nothing about her online presence feels accidental. From the way she presents herself, to the platforms she uses, to the boundaries she sets, everything reflects choice. This teaches an important lesson: growth doesn't require losing control. In fact, real growth often comes from knowing when to say no. Milani shows that protecting your image, your energy, and your narrative is not a weakness. It's a strategy. Her story also highlights the importance of evolving without betraying yourself. As her audience expanded, her content evolved, but her core remained the same. That balance between growth and authenticity is difficult, yet essential. Many creators lose themselves trying to please everyone. Milani chose a different path. She focused on serving the audience that truly resonated with her, rather than chasing approval from everyone else. And that decision created a deeper, more meaningful connection. There is also a powerful lesson in how she handles visibility. Being seen can be overwhelming, especially in a world that constantly judges, compares, and critiques. Milani doesn't respond by shrinking or over-explaining herself. She responds by standing firm. Her confidence is quiet, not defensive. She doesn't argue with perception, she simply continues being herself. That level of emotional discipline is rare, and it's something many people can learn from. Milani's journey reminds us that influence doesn't have to be performative. You don't need to exaggerate, provoke, or constantly reinvent yourself to stay relevant. Sometimes, relevance comes from reliability. From showing up as the same person, with the same values, over and over again. That reliability builds familiarity, and familiarity builds loyalty. Another educational takeaway from her story is the power of owning your platform. Instead of relying entirely on algorithms, trends, or external approval, Milani diversified how and where she shows up. This gave her freedom. Freedom to create on her terms. Freedom to decide what content belongs where. Freedom to protect the parts of her work that matter most. In a time when many creators feel controlled by platforms, her approach is a reminder that independence is possible. Milani's story is not about perfection. It's about permission. Permission to be different. Permission to take your time. Permission to build something that reflects who you are, not what the internet expects. That's why her impact feels personal. People don't just admire her success, they relate to her process. In many ways, her journey reframes what success looks like today. It's no longer just about reach, fame, or numbers. It's about alignment, control, and sustainability. It's about knowing when to expand and when to protect. When to share and when to hold back. And most importantly, it's about staying grounded while growing visible. Milani shows that competence is not a performance, it's a practice. A daily decision to show up honestly. To respect yourself enough to set boundaries. To value your voice enough to use it intentionally. And to understand that real influence is built quietly, over time, through consistency and self-respect. That's what makes her journey meaningful. Not because it's flashy, but because it's real. Not because it's perfect, but because it's intentional. And not because everyone agrees with it, but because it's hers. In a digital world that constantly pushes people to be louder, faster, and more extreme, Milani proves that there is strength in clarity. There is power in authenticity. And there is long-term success in knowing exactly who you are, and refusing to become anything else. What makes Milani's journey especially relevant today is how it reflects a deeper understanding of personal growth in the digital age. She doesn't treat social media as a shortcut to validation, but as a tool for expression and connection. That mindset changes everything. Instead of chasing approval, she focuses on clarity, and clarity is what keeps her grounded as her visibility increases. Milani shows that competence grows when you stop measuring yourself against others and start measuring yourself against your own values. Her presence online feels steady, not reactive. She doesn't shift her identity to match trends, and she doesn't dilute her message to stay liked. This teaches an important lesson: growth doesn't require constant reinvention, it requires self-respect. By choosing intention over impulse, Milani demonstrates that success is not about speed, but direction. She reminds us that when you know where you're going, you don't need to rush. And in a world that constantly demands more, louder, and faster, that kind of calm confidence becomes its own form of influence. What Milani ultimately represents is a shift in how influence is built and maintained. She shows that real presence is not about constant exposure, but about meaningful appearance. Every time she shows up, there is intention behind it, and that intention is felt by her audience. This creates a sense of respect that goes beyond admiration. Her journey also highlights the importance of self-trust. Milani doesn't constantly explain or justify her choices. She moves with certainty, and that certainty sends a powerful message: when you trust yourself, others begin to trust you too. This is a valuable lesson for anyone navigating a public space, whether online or offline. There is also maturity in how she handles growth. As her platform expanded, she didn't lose sight of why she started. She didn't allow numbers to replace values, or visibility to replace purpose. Instead, she treated growth as responsibility, not entitlement. That mindset keeps her grounded and protects her from becoming disconnected from her audience. Milani's story reminds us that influence can be calm, focused, and intentional. It doesn't need to shout to be heard. Sometimes, the strongest presence is the one that stays true, steady, and self-aware, even as the world around it keeps changing. So now the real question remains. Is Milani just another social media model you scroll past every day, or is she a symbol of how the idea of beauty is slowly changing in front of our eyes? Is she simply a face on a screen, or a reflection of confidence, self-acceptance, and modern identity? Because when you look closer, her story isn't just about fashion or photos. It's about presence. It's about choosing who you are in a world that constantly tries to define you. And that's why people see her in different ways. Some see inspiration. Some see influence. Some see a challenge to old standards that no longer make sense. And maybe that's exactly the point. Now it's your turn. How do you see Milani? Do you think she's just part of social media culture, or part of a bigger shift in how beauty and confidence are understood today? There's no right or wrong answer here. What matters is the conversation. So take a moment, share your perspective in the comments, and let's talk about it together. Don't forget to follow Gorgeous Models for more stories like this.